Welcome. Welcome to Hug Nation. Welcome to now. It's been now for a while, and I just want to say thank you for sharing this now with me. What a now! What a now. I think I want a t-shirt that says that. What a now! This week I wanted to talk about how to bring more joy to your social media experience. Initially, I had written this out as like 5 mistakes of social media, and it was all because I kept seeing examples where I was like, oh man, there's a better way to do this. There's a better way to think about this. There's a better way to kind of go through this emotions or deal with these situations that isn't so negative. Of course, when I was writing it as 5 mistakes, then I was like, oh, well, that's kind of negative. So instead, the topic is how to be more joyous, how to be more positive and bring more light to your experience as a digital journeyer through the world. Wonder Angel says, soothing pain and boosting happiness are very different skills. And that's, I think, kind of what I want to, the overall theme of all this is that it's similar to there's a light spreading versus dark fighting that has kind of overlapped in a lot of areas of my life, in that I used to think they were separate. You either fight darkness or spread light. And I'm learning more and more that it's merely the attitude in which you do the exact same actions. You can feed someone a sandwich who's hungry and be like, oh, this poor soul, oh gosh, this is all I can do, but at least it's something to make, oh my goodness. Or you can be like, hey, I have a sandwich, you're hungry, what an awesome opportunity to lift your day a little bit. Cool, yay, yay! Maybe you don't say yay so much, but then again, I watched a lot of Muppets when I was younger. Yay! Yes, another example that I saw this week a number of times. Crap or cone is one of our reoccurring tricks, things that helps me to kind of snap out of, whoa, am I focusing on the ice cream cone in my hand or the crap on my shoe? Something that I see a lot from people online, and is when, and God bless the big-hearted people that are affected so much by stories of hardship, tragedy, or animal abuse. And I know those things are heart triggers. They feel terrible. They're horrific. And so people have this impulse of seeing a news story about a emaciated, scabby dog, and they go, oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm going to post this and say, I can't believe somebody would do this. Which is doing what? It's saying, oh my gosh, look at this crap on my foot. You have to smell this. Smell my crap. Oh my god. Oh, it's terrible. You have to. And you put it right in everyone's face, right in my stream. So as I go to see what's up with all my friends, you're putting a picture of a tortured dog right at me. Now, does this stop any dogs from being tortured? If you're posting it because you think people on your friends list are torturing dogs, well then you need to communicate directly to your friends and maybe think about who your friends are. But I have a feeling that your friends are probably not torturing dogs, and they're probably just as offended as you. So all you're really doing is saying, there's terrible things in the world and you have to pay attention to them right now because there's dog shit on my foot. That is vastly different to what I've seen other people do, which is, click here and add your name to this thing to support this bill that will, increase penalties for animal torture, or will increase funding for Humane Society, or will blah, 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 blah. But the one is not only is it focusing on darkness, it's totally ineffectual. It does nothing. It's simply, in fact, I would argue that in law of attraction terms, in vibrational universe terms, the more you focus on, oh my gosh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, you are actually creating a demand in the universe for this thing. So that happens in many layers and many degrees online. And so try to fight the urge to just be like, I'm offended and hurt. I want to make sure everybody else gets offended and hurt too, because then you're just like a newscaster. Bad things, it affected me, it affects you. If there's something you can do it. If there's something that you think we all can do it. But try to do it from a light-spreading way. When you say, tortured dog, you have to do something, then it's just like, oh man, I'm in this pit of yuck. I mean, I'll try to help, but it just feels terrible. As opposed to, hey, let's build shelters, or whatever you're moved to do. Speaking of being moved to do, I got a comment a couple weeks ago where I bought a CD, I think it was by a Mimosa CD, how silly, I bought the MP3s, downloadable, from Mimosa, and he donated all of the funds of that to the Japan Earthquake Fund of some sort. And somebody commented, like, have you given money? You know, we have to do something. They need our help. That was their comment when I posted, hey, I got this music, and guess what? It actually helped. The money went to a good place. They had this kind of attacking tone of like, people need our help. You need to do something. I was like, boy, that really makes me defensive and feel yucky. Because it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people think that yelling that something is wrong is somehow helping. It's just like putting a picture of a dying dog. Like, does it help? Does it help to know that people need help? I think we all know that people need help. So what I commented to them, I said, you know, maybe instead of, you know, telling us that there's problems in the world, could you post some examples of things that you're doing that would inspire us? To me, what gets me to do stuff, to take action, is to see, oh, people that are my friends, people on my friends list, people that I'm connected to online are doing things that are actually making change in the world. Even small, if somebody is doing a run, you know, that's a good example of a light spreading charity. You know, the 3-day, the pink ribbon 3-day. It's all light and lift and help and up, up, up. Yeah. Now, another incredible example of an online nonprofit that I was just kind of introduced to that I think is just amazing is, I'll put the link. It's blinknow.org. But there's a woman named Maggie Doyne, and you can look at this another time. I'll give you the overview. But she basically was like a college kid going through, I think, Tibet, and saw all these orphaned kids and was like, oh man, I gotta do something. And so she just started trying to help build stuff. And then people started hearing about it, and they started giving her money. And then corporations started giving her money. So now she's got this whole foundation. I mean, she's like adopted, I think, like 30, 40 kids, and she's built homes for all these others. And not because she's like, she doesn't go, please help. She just said, oh my gosh, I should do something. And that has inspired so many people to do something. I'm not saying you have to move to Tibet and build something. I'm saying, if you, telling me that you gave $5 to a charity is infinitely more impactful to me than saying, people need our help. You should do something. Like, okay. Is it important enough that you would give $5? If it's that important and you're a friend of mine, then I will pay attention and see if I can add to the momentum of good. Spreading light. I'm happy to do that. It feels good to do that. I want to do that. Danger Money says, it's just like the Plius. See a need, fill it. Exactly. The world is a duocracy. And the more that we find out that you're the one, no matter what your question is, no matter what is broken, no matter what needs fixing, you're the one that needs to figure it out. And if it's not a big enough deal for you to figure it out, can't expect someone else to do it. And then the final thing that I was just going to mention, as far as how to make your online experience and presence more joyous, is to recognize that you have total control over what you take in. Hopefully you're already being very critical about the media that you take in from mass media and TV and magazines and things. Hopefully you're not reading magazines that make you feel fat constantly, or watching TV that makes you feel like we're constantly being attacked by terrorists. If you don't put a guard at your mind's gate, if you're not vigilant, then you will be overwhelmed with those messages. And I mean, it's no wonder that the whole world and our whole culture has trouble sleeping, because the evening news is filled with horror stories. We don't need scary movies. We just watch the news and then can't sleep. So I've become very much well-crafted and well-skilled at managing my friends list. And so if people are sharing things, challenges in their life that they are working on solutions to, that's awesome. But if somebody is not creative, inspiring, positive in some way, I give you about 2 chances and then I just hide your stream. If someone is complaining, if somebody uses the words FML, which stands for fuck my life, then I'm probably going to hide you. I don't want to know examples of why your life is so terrible. Because you know what? Everybody could make a list of those. Everybody could make a massive list. I guarantee that if everyone starts making those lists, you're going to feel pretty silly about your example of how terrible your life is. Yes, there's crap on your foot. Obviously. Where's the ice cream cone? There's a site that the opposite side of that is, oh, gives me hope. That's what I want to hear. Those are the people that I read, even if I don't know you that well. I want to know if you're the kind of person that shares things about gives me hope. If you're noticing positive things in the world, that's who I'm following. And when you do that, when you actively craft the news that you get, because it's also you're getting by hiding certain people. If some people are alarmist and they say, if they're like, this is a problem, you know, even if I agree, yes, these are problems, yes, these are terrible things, yes, these need attention. If you just bang the drum constantly, eventually my ears hurt. If you're somebody who says, this is a problem, here's some things that I'm doing, and I invite you to join me to make this change or to contact these people or whatever, those are the people that I continue to pay attention to. And I end up getting most of my news filtered that way, through people that I trust to think critically, and that I trust to think critically and share things that we have control over in some way. Now, lately I've been getting criticism from certain people, it's just ongoing I guess, not lately, that type of attitude of hiding people that are negative and pessimistic is, well, it's putting your head in the sand. You know, it's ignoring the reality, it's ignoring the state of the world. And I'm not saying you ignore every problem that ever exists and just la la la, everything is perfect. You know what, let me rephrase that. Everything is perfect. Even in the state of disarray and chaos, everything is perfect. What I'm saying is, it is important to guard your mind so that you can build up and strengthen your joy muscle, your sense of joy and happiness and contentment, so that you have something to give to the world. You're constantly beating yourself down with, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. Then it's like, yes, we need to do something. We need to do something. We've got to do something. And it's like, okay, what would I do? What do I have the energy to do? All I have the energy to do is hit retweet or share this news article and go, it's so terrible. And then you've really done nothing except sacrificed your joy for what you think is making a difference. And in my opinion, it's not. It's much better to hide your head. Don't pay attention to anything that's happening in the world at all. Just go, no, 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 no. And then when you encounter somebody who looks hungry, say, hey, want to ever have my sandwich? And then when you encounter somebody who's looking frustrated, you give them a smile and go, hello. How many times do you smile first at a stranger? That is one of the simplest things you can do that can change lives and days like a virus. But if you're like coming off of watching the news all day and like, okay, I've sent 9 tweets about animal abuse, I feel like okay. Are you going to be the first one that smiles when you cross somebody at the supermarket? No, you're going to be like, what's everybody smiling about? Don't they know about all the dogs that are starving? So, I guess what I'm saying is that, yes, we should want to change the world. Yes, we should see ourselves as activists, and we should see ourselves as the solution. We are the ones that are going to make the difference. Be the change you want to see in the world. And I think if you dig deep, the change that you want to see in the world is not more news about what's going on. It's people making tiny steps, tiny gestures, Ingrid told me this weekend this quote that no single drop is aware that they're creating a rainbow. Maybe I messed up that quote. But it's the same thing, these simple things, the simple smiles, the simple, granola bar to someone on the side of the road, the simple look someone in the eye, the simple $5 given to a Kickstarter campaign, the simple $1 because that's all you can afford, but you want to make the gesture that this is something that you think is important. Those are actions. Those are, and in the cosmic stream sense, scale does not matter. Direction matters. And yelling, banging a pan, that is no direction at all. It's simply drawing attention to something that has a vibration that we want less of in the world. Don't do that. Find the solution, create the solution, and then sing it. Sing about the solution. Sing about the direction towards good. I'm gonna sing about the direction towards the good. Yeah, yeah. Making up a song, it don't make no sense and it doesn't even rhyme. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a hug. Let's have a hug. Let's have a hug. Everybody. Grab yourselves by the shoulders. Man. Speaking of things going right, look at this body. Look at your body. It's filled with cells that do all sorts of crazy things. Even as you're reading your Facebook updates and being alarmed about terrible things in the world, your body is fighting off disease. Your body is replenishing itself. Your body is keeping all of the levels and chemicals and bile ducts and everything perfectly balanced. We're in the process of balancing itself. That's amazing. I'm going to turn 40 years old this year. You know how many things I own or that I've even touched that work so amazingly, fluidly after 40 years of hard use? It's incredible. It's incredible. Next time you're got an ankle sore, your back hurts, marvel at how, one, that's going to heal, and two, everything else is still working? Amazing. So as we have gratitude for this body, we also are aware of the stories that we get caught up in when we sink into places other than the now. We get caught up in stories and concerns and obligations and roles. We're animal lovers, right? And from that identity, sometimes we feel obligations to act or say or do. And other people get caught up in that too. So even as we hit hide and stop watching someone's updates, we know that that place that they're sharing from is a place in their heart is one of good and love. The effect it has on us, however, may be a little bit more toxic. And so we see them beneath their role as animal activists, and we see them as their role beneath their roles of all roles, and simply as the bright light, that divine seed of awareness that is doing its best to make sense of all this stuff. And we love that element of them. We love that pure light that shines through whatever filters of identity they have to deal with. And we forgive them that. We forgive ourselves the stories we get caught up in. And we know that as we appreciate and perceive and sink into gratitude, it becomes very clear the direction, the flow that we need to be moving in. The small things, the smiles, maybe the big things we realize we need to put our energy towards. Maybe we're the perfect person to move to Tibet and build an orphanage. Or maybe we're the perfect person to smile at everyone we meet on our daily walk. Or maybe we're the perfect person to simply sit and be still until we hear that song inside us that tells us what we need to do next. All along the way, returning to gratitude, returning to compassion for ourselves and for everyone, Let's take a deep breath. Just feel that vibration of compassion towards every brother and sister on the planet, no matter what their attention and roles are taking them into. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the Love Warriors, happy Hug Nation. I love you. Thank you for shining your light, sharing your updates, living your truth, always realigning, opening, and being the change that you wish to be in the world. Always redirecting as we learn, always replenishing the well, always rediscovering what that means in every moment, because we are constantly learning and growing, constantly fine-tuning our role as ambassador in the world, sharing love, sharing ourselves, sharing our miracle. Thank you for being you. Namaste.
You only live once. Enjoy the color.